The Book of Proverbs, Chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, are given so that people may know wisdom and discipline and understand intelligent sayings. They provide instruction in wise conduct and teach what is right, just, and fair. They impart resourcefulness to the naive and give knowledge and discretion to the young. The wise, by hearing them, will advance in learning, and the intelligent will gain sound guidance to comprehend proverbs, bywords, the words of the wise, and their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and do not reject your mother's teaching. They will be like a graceful diadem for your head and a pendant for your neck. If sinners entice you, do not follow them. If they say, "Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood and trap the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them alive like Sheol, whole, like those who go down to the pit. We will gain precious wealth and fill our houses with loot. Cast in your lot with us, and we shall all share one purse. Do not walk in their ways or set foot on their paths. Their feet run to evil, and they hasten to shed blood. They lie in wait for their own blood, and set traps for their own lives. Such is the way of those greedy for ill-gotten gain. It takes away the life of those who possess it. Wisdom cries aloud in the streets and raises her voice in the open squares. In the crowded ways she calls out, and at the city gates she utters her words. How long will you naive ones love your naivete? How long will you turn away at my reproof? I will pour out my spirit to you and acquaint you with my words. But because I called and you refused, because I extended my hand and no one took notice, because you disdained my counsel and ignored my reproof, I will laugh at your doom and mock when terror overtakes you like a storm. Chapter 2. The Blessings of Wisdom. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands, turning your ear to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding, if you call for intelligence and raise your voice to seek understanding, if you search for her like silver and seek her as you would hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, and from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores success for the upright and acts as a shield for those who walk honestly. He guards the paths of justice and protects the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right, just, and fair, every good path. Wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will find a home in your soul. Discretion will watch over you and understanding will guard you, saving you from the ways of the wicked and from those whose speech is perverse. These are the ones who have left the straight paths to walk in darkness, who delight in evil and celebrate their perversity, whose ways are crooked and whose paths are devious. Wisdom will save you from the stranger, the foreign woman with her smooth words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. Her path sinks down to death, and her steps lead to the shadowy depths. None who go to her return, nor do they regain the paths of life. With wisdom you will walk in the way of the good and stay on the paths of the just. For the upright will dwell in the land and people of integrity will remain in it, but the wicked will be cut off from the land and the faithless will be rooted out of it. Chapter 3. Confidence in God leads to prosperity. My son, do not forget my teaching. Take my commands to heart. They will bring you many days, years of life, and peace. Let love and fidelity never leave you. Bind them around your neck and write them on the tablet of your heart. In doing so, you will find favor and esteem before God and others. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. Be mindful of him in all your ways, and he will make your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. This will bring health to your flesh and strength to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, offering the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with abundance, and your vats will overflow with new wine. Do not spurn the Lord's discipline or disdain his reproof, for the Lord reproves those he loves, just as a father corrects the son he favors. The benefits of finding wisdom. Happy is the one who finds wisdom and gains understanding, for her profit is greater than silver, and her gain is better than gold. She is more precious than corals, and nothing you desire compares with her. In her right hand is a long life, on her left are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant, and all her paths are peaceful. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her, and those who hold her fast are blessed. By wisdom, the Lord founded the earth and established the heavens. By his knowledge, the depths are divided, and the clouds drop dew. Justice toward one's neighbor brings blessing. My son, do not let wisdom and planning slip from your sight. They will bring life to your soul and adorn your neck. You will walk securely, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid, and your sleep will be sweet. Do not fear sudden terror or the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence and keep your foot from the snare. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is within your power to act. Do not tell your neighbor, "Come back tomorrow and I will give it," when you already have it with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives in peace with you. Do not contend without cause or envy the violent, nor choose their ways. The devious are detestable to the Lord, but he is close to the upright. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the just. He mocks the scoffers, but favors the humble. The wise will inherit glory, while fools will carry disgrace. Chapter 4. The Teacher as Model Disciple. Listen, my children, to a father's instruction and pay attention so that you may gain understanding. I give you excellent advice. Do not forsake my teaching. When I was a child, tender and cherished by my mother, my father taught me and said, "Let your heart hold fast to my words. Keep my commands and live. Seek wisdom and understanding. Do not forget or turn away from my words. Do not abandon wisdom, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you safe. The beginning of wisdom is to seek wisdom, and above all gain understanding. Treasure her, and she will lift you up. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will place a graceful crown upon your head, a glorious diadem as her gift." The Two Ways. Listen, my son, and take my words to heart, and your years will be many. I guide you along the way of wisdom and lead you on straight paths. As you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and when you run, you will not stumble. Hold tightly to instruction. Do not let it go, for it is your life. Avoid the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evildoers. Stay away from it, turn aside, and pass it by. The wicked cannot rest unless they have done wrong. They lose sleep unless they have caused harm. They feed on the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is like the first light of dawn, growing ever brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is deep darkness. They do not even know what makes them stumble. With your whole being, heed my words and live. My son, pay attention to my words and incline your ear to my sayings. Keep them in your sight and treasure them in your heart, for they bring life to those who find them, and health to one's whole being. Above all, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Put away dishonest speech, and keep deceit far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead, and fix your gaze on what lies before you. Carefully consider the path of your feet, and let your ways be firm. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Keep your feet far from evil. Chapter 5. Warning against adultery. My son, be attentive to wisdom and incline your ear to understanding so that you may act with discretion and guard the knowledge you possess. The lips of a stranger may drip with honey, and her words may flow smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood and sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet lead to death, her steps descend to Sheol, and her wandering paths obscure the road to life. Listen, children, and do not stray from my words. Keep your distance from her. Do not even approach the door of her house, lest you surrender your honor to others and your hard-earned wealth to strangers. In the end, you will groan as your body is consumed, regretting that you rejected instruction and ignored the guidance of your teachers. Drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Let your fountain be blessed, and delight in the wife of your youth, a graceful doe whose love will intoxicate you always. Why, my son, would you embrace a stranger and be ensnared by another's wife? The ways of all are visible to the Lord, who observes every path. The wicked will be caught in their own sins, dying from a lack of discipline, and lost in their folly. Chapter 6. Miscellaneous Proverbs. If you have guaranteed your neighbor's debt, freeing yourself is urgent. Do not rest until you escape the trap you have created with your words. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hunter or a bird from the fowler. Observe the ant, O sluggard, and learn wisdom from her diligence. Without a ruler or overseer, she gathers food in summer and stores provisions at harvest. How long will you sleep, sluggard? Poverty will come upon you like a thief if you continue to fold your arms in rest. Scoundrels speak crooked words, shift their eyes, and sow discord, their doom coming suddenly and beyond repair. The Lord hates pride, lies, violence, wicked schemes, and those who sow discord among kindred. Warning against adultery. Observe your father's commands and do not reject your mother's teaching. Keep them close to your heart. They will guide you, protect you, and discipline you. They will shield you from the temptation of another's wife and the allure of her words. Do not let your heart be captivated by her beauty or her glance, for such lust destroys wisdom. Those who commit adultery destroy themselves, earning wounds, disgrace, and the rage of a wronged spouse. Restitution will not suffice to calm such anger. Chapter 7. The Seduction. My son, treasure my words and keep my commands as the apple of your eye. Bind them to your fingers and write them on your heart so they may protect you from temptation and the smooth words of a foreign woman. I saw a young man lacking sense wandering toward her house at twilight. She approached him, bold and dressed to entice, and with smooth words, she lured him. She promised love until morning, insisting her husband was away on a long journey. Seduced by her urging, he followed her like an ox to slaughter, unaware of the danger to his life. Do not let your heart be drawn to her ways, for her house is a highway to Sheol, leading down to the chambers of death. Chapter 8. The Discourse of Wisdom. Does not wisdom call, and understanding raise her voice? On the heights along the road, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. By the gates, at the city's approaches, at the entryways, she cries aloud. To you, O people, I call, my appeal is to all mortals. You naive ones gain prudence, you fools gain sense. Listen, for I speak noble things. My lips proclaim what is right. My mouth utters truth, and my lips abhor wickedness. All the words of my mouth are sincere, nothing in them is wily or crooked. They are clear to the discerning and right to those who attain knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than corals, and no treasures can compare. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and possess useful knowledge. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil, pride, arrogance, the evil way, and the perverse mouth I hate. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have insight and strength. By me, kings reign, and rulers enact justice. By me, princes govern, and nobles administer equity. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even the purest gold, and my yield surpasses choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, along the paths of justice, granting wealth to those who love me and filling their treasuries. The Lord brought me forth at the beginning of his works, the first of his acts of old. From ages past, I was formed before the earth came to be. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains were shaped, before the hills, I was born. Before he made the earth, its fields, or the first dust of the world, I was there. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he inscribed a circle on the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above and fixed the fountains of the deep. When he set a limit for the sea so that its waters would not transgress his command. When he laid the foundations of the earth, I was beside him as a master craftsman. I was his delight day by day, always playing before him, delighting in his inhabited world and finding joy in the human race. Now, children, listen to me. Happy are those who keep my ways. Listen to instructions and grow wise. Do not reject them. Happy is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at my doorposts. For whoever finds me finds life and wins favor from the Lord. But those who fail to find me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. Chapter 9. The two women invite passers-by to their banquets. Woman Wisdom issues her invitation. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat, mixed her wine, and spread her table. She sends out her maidservants and calls from the city heights. Let whoever is naive turn in here. To those who lack sense, I say, come, eat of my food and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness and live. Walk in the way of understanding. Miscellaneous aphorisms. Whoever corrects the arrogant earns insults, and whoever reproves the wicked invites abuse. Do not reprove the arrogant, lest they hate you. Reprove the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will grow wiser. Teach the just, and they will gain more learning. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. By wisdom your days will be multiplied, and the years of your life will increase. If you are wise, your wisdom benefits you. If you are arrogant, you bear the consequences alone. Woman Folly issues her invitation. Woman Folly is loud and ignorant. She knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a seat at the city heights, calling out to passers-by on their way. Let the naive turn in here. To those who lack sense, I say. Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is delicious. But they do not realize that the dead are there, and her guests dwell in the depths of Sheol. Chapter 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son causes grief to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures bring no gain, but justice delivers from death. The Lord does not let the just go hungry, but he thwarts the cravings of the wicked. Idle hands lead to poverty, while diligent hands bring wealth. A son who works during summer is a credit, but one who sleeps during harvest brings disgrace. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but the mouth of the wicked hides violence. The memory of the righteous is a blessing, while the name of the wicked decays. A wise heart accepts instruction, but a babbling fool faces ruin. The honest walk securely, while the crooked path leads to disaster. Those who wink at wrongs cause trouble, but those who offer frank reproof promote peace. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, while the wicked's mouth hides violence. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers all offenses. Wisdom graces the lips of the intelligent, but fools invite punishment. The wise treasure knowledge, but the foolish court ruin. Wealth serves as a stronghold for the rich, but poverty devastates the poor. The work of the righteous leads to life, while the gain of the wicked ends in futility. Following instruction leads to life, but ignoring correction leads astray. Concealing hatred shows deceitful lips, and spreading slander marks a fool. Where words abound, sin is inevitable, but those who restrain their speech show wisdom. The words of the righteous are like choice silver, while the heart of the wicked holds little value. The lips of the righteous sustain many, but fools perish for lack of sense. The Lord's blessing brings true wealth, and effort alone cannot replicate it. Foolishness entertains the fool, while wisdom enriches the discerning. The fears of the wicked will come upon them, but the desires of the righteous will be fulfilled. When the storm passes, the wicked are swept away, but the righteous stand firm forever. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are the lazy to those who send them. Fear of the Lord lengthens life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The hopes of the righteous bring joy, while the expectations of the wicked perish. The Lord is a refuge for the upright and destruction for the evildoers. The righteous will never be shaken, but the wicked will not remain in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, while a perverse tongue will be silenced. The lips of the righteous speak of what is pleasing, but the speech of the wicked is filled with corruption. Chapter 11. The Integrity of Justice. False scales are an abomination to the Lord, but an honest weight is his delight. Pride leads to disgrace, but wisdom is found with the humble. The integrity of the upright guides them, while the faithless are ruined by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless on the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Justice clears the path of the honest, while the wicked are undone by their own wrongdoing. The upright are saved by their righteousness, but the faithless are ensnared by their schemes. When someone dies, their hope perishes, and reliance on wealth is futile. The just are rescued from adversity, while the wicked fall into their own traps. The impious bring ruin to their neighbors with careless words, but the just are saved by their wisdom. The prosperity of the just brings joy to the city, while the demise of the wicked sparks celebration. Through the blessings of the righteous, a city thrives, but the wicked bring its downfall. Those who slander lack wisdom, while the prudent remain silent and trustworthy. A slanderer reveals secrets, but a faithful person safeguards confidence. Without guidance, people falter, but security comes with many advisors. Harm befalls those who guarantee another's debt, but those who avoid pledges remain secure. A gracious woman earns respect while ruthless individuals pursue wealth. Kind-hearted people benefit themselves, but cruel people bring harm to themselves. The wicked chase fleeting profits, while those who sow righteousness reap lasting rewards. Righteousness leads to life, but the pursuit of evil leads to death. The Lord detests the corrupt heart, but delights in those who walk with integrity. The wicked will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will be delivered. A beautiful woman without discretion is like a golden ring in a pig's snout. The desires of the righteous lead to goodness, but the wicked face wrath. Some give generously and grow richer, while others withhold and suffer want. Those who bless others will be enriched, and those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Those who hoard grain are cursed, but blessings come to those who share. Seeking goodness brings favor, while pursuing evil brings calamity. Those who trust in riches will fall, but the righteous flourish like green leaves. Troubling one's household leads to ruin, while the wise inherit honor. The fruit of righteousness is a tree of life, and the wise influence others for good. If the righteous are repaid on earth, how much more will the wicked and the sinner face their due? Chapter 12. The path of wisdom and righteousness. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but rejecting correction is foolish. A good person earns the favor of the Lord, while schemers face his condemnation. Wickedness offers no security, but the roots of the righteous remain unshaken. A woman of virtue is a crown to her husband, while a disgraceful one brings decay. The plans of the righteous are just, but the schemes of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked bring destruction, while the speech of the upright preserves life. The wicked are overthrown and disappear, but the house of the righteous endures. Those with wisdom earn praise, but those with perverse hearts face disdain. It is better to be modest and have a servant than to put on air while lacking basic needs. The righteous care for their animals, while even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. Those who work their own land have plenty, but idle pursuits lead to poverty. The wicked crave ill-gotten gains, but the roots of the righteous bear fruit. The wicked are ensnared by their own words, while the righteous escape trouble. Good words nourish the soul, and diligent hands bring rewards. Fools believe they are always right, but the wise seek and heed counsel. Fools reveal their anger quickly, while the prudent keep their feelings in check. Honest words bring truth, while deceitful tongues spread lies. Reckless words wound like swords, but the wise offer healing and comfort. Truthful speech endures forever, while lies are fleeting. Deceitful hearts plot harm, but peacemakers find joy. The righteous face no ultimate harm, but misfortune overwhelms the wicked. Lying lips are detestable to the Lord, but truthful ones are his delight. The wise quietly keep their knowledge, while fools broadcast their folly. The diligent rise to positions of authority, while laziness leads to servitude. Worry weighs down the heart, but kind words bring joy. The righteous guide their neighbors wisely, but the wicked lead others astray. Slothfulness leaves one empty-handed, while diligence leads to abundance. The path of justice leads to life, but the road of wickedness ends in death. Chapter 13. The wisdom of righteous living. A wise son embraces correction, while a scoffer rejects rebuke. From the fruit of one's words comes satisfaction, but treachery brings violence. Guarding one's speech preserves life, whereas careless words lead to ruin. The sluggard's cravings go unfulfilled, but the diligent are richly satisfied. The just despise deceitful speech, while the wicked revel in disgrace. Honesty is protected by justice, but sin leads the wicked astray. Some pretend to be rich yet have nothing, while others feign poverty but possess great wealth. Riches can ransom a life, but the poor are spared even threats. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is extinguished. Fools spread discord with their insolence, but wisdom resides with those who seek counsel. Wealth gained hastily fades, but that earned gradually increases. Deferred hope burdens the heart, but fulfilled desires are like a tree of life. Those who despise instruction will face consequences, while reverence for wisdom brings reward. Wise teachings are a fountain of life, steering one away from death's traps. Good sense earns favor, but the faithless invite ruin. The prudent act wisely while fools flaunt their folly. A wicked messenger causes disaster, but a trustworthy one brings healing. Discipline leads to honor, while neglecting correction brings poverty and shame. Fulfilled desires bring joy to the soul, but fools despise turning from evil. Walking with the wise makes one wise, but associating with fools invites trouble. Misfortune pursues sinners, while the righteous are blessed with goodness. The good leave a legacy for their descendants, but the sinner's wealth is stored for the just. The poor's labor yields abundance, but injustice can sweep away possessions. Withholding discipline shows a lack of love, while correcting a child is an act of care. The just are satisfied when they eat, but the wicked remain in want. Chapter 14. Wisdom builds her house, while folly destroys hers with her own hands. Those who walk upright hold the fear of the Lord in their hearts, while those who act with deceit turn away from him. A fool's words often bring about their own pride, but the wise use their words to preserve themselves. A clean crib may indicate the absence of oxen, but great harvests are the result of the strength of the bull. A trustworthy witness tells the truth, but one who spreads lies falsely testifies. The scoffer seeks wisdom but finds none, while those with intelligence easily gain knowledge. It is best to avoid the fool, as nothing of value can be gained from them. The wisdom of the shrewd guides their actions, but the folly of fools leads them astray. The wicked disregard offerings for their guilt, but the upright find favor. The heart holds its own sorrow and joy, yet no one else can truly understand them. The house of the wicked will face destruction, while the dwelling of the upright will prosper. Sometimes a path may appear right, but its end is one of death. Even in laughter, the heart may carry sadness, and joy can turn to sorrow. Those who turn from their own ways are filled, while the loyal remain content. The naive trust everything they hear, but the shrewd remain cautious in their steps. A wise person avoids evil and remains vigilant, while a fool's recklessness brings about their own entanglement. Those who are quick-tempered embarrass themselves, while schemers earn the disdain of others. The simple wear folly as an ornament, but the shrewd wear knowledge like a crown. The malicious bow before the good, and the wicked kneel before the just. The poor are often despised even by their neighbors, but the rich enjoy many friends. Those who despise the hungry will find themselves in need, while those who are kind to the poor are blessed. Those who plot evil are bound to fail, but those who plan good gain unwavering loyalty. In all work there is a reward, but idle talk leads to nothing. The wise are crowned with wealth, while the foolish are crowned with folly. A truthful witness preserves life, but those who speak lies betray others. The fear of the Lord is a strong defense, a refuge even for one's children. It is a fountain of life, protecting from the snares of death. A king's glory is in the number of his subjects, but a prince without a people is ruined. Patience leads to wisdom, while a short temper brings about folly. A tranquil mind nurtures the body, but jealousy destroys the bones. Those who oppress the poor insult their maker, but those who are kind to the needy honor him. The wicked are brought low by their own wickedness, while the just find refuge in their integrity. Wisdom in the heart remains silent but is revealed when among fools. Justice uplifts a nation, while sin brings disgrace to the people. A king favors a servant who is skillful, while the one who is shameless earns his wrath. Chapter 15. A gentle answer can calm anger, while harsh words only stir it up. The wise speak words of knowledge, but fools are full of folly. The Lord's eyes are everywhere, watching both the evil and the good. A kind and gentle tongue is like a tree of life, but a perverse one breaks the spirit. The fool rejects a father's guidance, but those who listen to reproof are wise. In the home of the righteous there is abundant wealth, but the harvest of the wicked is in danger. The wise spread knowledge with their words, while the heart of fools lacks consistency. The Lord despises the sacrifices of the wicked, but he delights in the prayers of the upright. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves those who pursue justice. Discipline seems harsh to those who stray, and those who hate correction will ultimately perish. The realm of the dead and destruction lie open before the Lord, so much more so do the hearts of people. Scoffers reject reproof, and they will not turn to the wise. A joyful heart brightens the face, but an anxious heart brings sorrow. The discerning heart seeks knowledge, but fools feed on foolishness. The poor face evil every day, but a good heart provides a constant feast. It is better to have a little with the fear of the Lord than to possess great wealth with anxiety. Better is a simple meal of herbs in a home filled with love than a fatted ox with hatred. The ill-tempered stirs up conflict, but the patient settles disputes. The path of the sluggard is full of obstacles, but the diligent walk a clear and straight road. A wise son brings joy to his father, while a fool brings disgrace to his mother. Folly is a source of joy for the senseless, but the understanding walk the straight path. Without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisers, they succeed. A timely and thoughtful response brings joy, and a well-timed word is always good. The path of life leads upward for the prudent, turning them away from death. The Lord brings down the proud, but he protects the widow's inheritance. The wicked's plans are an abomination to the Lord, but gracious words are pure. The greedy destroy their own homes, but those who refuse bribes will thrive. The heart of the righteous carefully considers their words, while the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayers of the righteous. A cheerful glance brings joy to the heart, and good news strengthens the bones. The ear that listens to corrective instruction is among the wise. Those who reject discipline despise themselves, but those who accept correction gain understanding. The fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom, and humility precedes honor. Chapter 16. People make plans in their hearts, but it is from the Lord that the tongue's response comes. All of one's ways may seem pure in their own eyes, but it is the Lord who weighs the motives. Entrust your works to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. The Lord has created everything for a purpose, even the wicked, for the day of evil. Every proud heart is an abomination to the Lord, and none will go unpunished. Steadfast loyalty expiates guilt, and the fear of the Lord keeps one from evil. When the Lord is pleased with someone's ways, even their enemies are at peace with them. Better is a little with justice than great wealth with injustice. The human heart plans its course, but the Lord directs the steps. An oracle from the Lord rests on the lips of the king. No judgment of his mouth is false. Balance and scales are the Lord's, and he is concerned with every weight in the sack. Wrongdoing is an abomination to kings, for justice is the foundation of their throne. The king delights in honest lips and loves those who speak what is right. A king's wrath is a messenger of death, but a wise person can calm it. A king's smile brings life, and his favor is like spring rain. How much better it is to gain wisdom than gold, and understanding is more precious than silver. The path of the upright leads away from misfortune, and those who heed their way protect their lives. Pride precedes disaster, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be humble with the poor than to share plunder with the proud. Whoever ponders a matter will find success, and happy is the one who trusts in the Lord. The wise of the heart is esteemed for their discernment, and pleasing speech earns a reputation for learning. Good sense is a fountain of life to those who possess it, while folly trains the foolish. The heart of the wise brings forth eloquent speech and increases learning with their words. Pleasing words are like honeycomb, sweet to the taste and invigorating to the bones. Sometimes a way seems right, but its end leads to death. The appetite of workers drives them as their mouths urge them on. Scoundrels are like a furnace of evil, and their words are like a scorching fire. Perverse speech sows discord, and gossip separates close friends. The violent deceive their neighbors, leading them down a path that is not good. Those who wink their eyes plan perversity, and those who purse their lips do evil. Gray hair is a crown of glory earned by a righteous life. The patients are better than warriors, and those who rule their temper are greater than those who conquer cities. The lot is cast into the bag, but every decision comes from the Lord. Chapter 17. Better a dry crust with peace than a house full of feasting with strife. A wise servant will rule over an unworthy son and share in the inheritance of the children. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace is for gold, but it is the Lord who tests the hearts. The evildoer listens to wicked lips, and the liar heeds a mischievous tongue. Whoever mocks the poor insults their Maker. Those who rejoice in their misfortune will not go unpunished. Grandchildren are the crown of the elderly, and the glory of children is their parentage. Fine words are ill-suited to a fool, and much more so lying lips to a noble. A bribe may seem like a charm to its user, bringing success at every turn. Whoever overlooks an offense fosters friendship, but gossip separates close friends. A single reprimand does more for a discerning person than 100 lashes for a fool. The wicked pursue only rebellion, and a merciless messenger is sent against them. It is better to face a bear robbed of her cubs than to deal with fools in their folly. If you return evil for good, evil will never leave your house. The start of strife is like the opening of a dam. Prevent a quarrel before it escalates. Whoever acquits the wicked or condemns the just is an abomination to the Lord. What use is money in the hands of fools when they lack the wisdom to use it? A friend is loyal at all times, and a brother is born for the time of adversity. Those without sense give their hands as collateral, becoming surety for their neighbors. Those who love offense love a fight, and those who build their gates high invite disaster. The perverse in heart will not come to good, and those who speak with a double tongue will fall into trouble. The father of a fool will have grief, and the mother of a numbskull will know no joy. A joyful heart is the health of the body, but a depressed spirit dries up the bones. A guilty person takes a bribe to pervert the course of justice. The face of the discerning shows wisdom, but the eyes of a fool wander far and wide. A foolish son brings vexation to his father and bitter sorrow to his mother. It is wrong to fine an innocent person, and unreasonable to punish nobles. Those who are careful with their words show true knowledge, and those who are discreet show intelligence. Even fools, when silent, are considered wise. If they keep their lips closed, they are perceived as intelligent. Chapter 18. One who is alienated seeks a reason to argue, persistently picking quarrels. Fools take no delight in understanding, only in showcasing their own opinions. With wickedness comes contempt, and with disgrace comes scorn. The words of one's mouth are deep waters, while the spring of wisdom is like a flowing brook. It is not good to favor the guilty or reject the claim of the just. The lips of fools lead them into conflict, and their mouths invite trouble. The mouths of fools bring ruin, and their lips become a deadly snare. The words of a gossip are like dainty morsels, sinking deep into one's soul. Those who are slack in their work are akin to destroyers. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The just run to it and find safety. The wealth of the rich is like a strong city to them, a high wall they rely on. Before disaster, the heart is proud, but before honor comes humility. Whoever answers before listening is a fool, and their actions bring shame. A person's spirit sustains them when they are ill, but who can bear a broken spirit? The heart of the intelligent seeks knowledge, and the ear of the wise listens for it. Gifts pave the way for people to gain access to influential figures. Those who present their case first seem right, but their opponent cross-examines them. The lot settles disputes, even between powerful individuals. An offended brother is harder to reconcile than a fortified city, and such conflict is more daunting than castle gates. With the words of one's mouth, their needs are met. With the produce of their lips, they are satisfied. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who choose one will reap its fruit. To find a wife is to find happiness, a favor granted by the Lord. The poor plead for help, but the rich answer harshly. Some friends bring ruin, but a true friend is more loyal than a brother. Chapter 19. It is better to be poor and walk in integrity than to be rich and crooked in one's ways. Desire without knowledge is not good, and acting hastily leads to mistakes. One's own folly leads them astray, and in their hearts they rage against the Lord. Wealth attracts many friends, but the poor are left friendless. A false witness will not go unpunished, and those who lie will not escape. Many seek favor from the noble, and everyone is a friend to a gift giver. The relatives of the poor despise them, and their friends shun them even more. Those who gain wisdom love themselves, and those who preserve understanding will find success. The false witness will not go unpunished, and lies lead to destruction. Luxury is not fitting for a fool, nor should a slave rule over princes. It is wise to be slow to anger, and it is an honor to overlook an offense. The king's wrath is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son brings ruin to his father, and a quarrelsome wife is like a constant drip of water. Home and possessions are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is a gift from the Lord. Laziness brings deep sleep, and the sluggard will go hungry. Those who follow commands preserve their lives, but those who despise them will perish. Whoever cares for the poor lends to the Lord, and the Lord will repay them fully. Discipline your son, for there is hope. Do not be intent on his destruction. A wrathful person will bear the penalty, and after one rescue, the same issue will arise again. Listen to counsel and receive instruction that you may eventually become wise. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's decision that stands. What is desired of a person is faithfulness. It is better to be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, and one who fears the Lord sleeps free from harm. The sluggard buries a hand in the dish but does not lift it to the mouth. Correct a scoffer, and the naive learn. Rebuke the wise, and they gain knowledge. Whoever mistreats their father or drives away their mother is a disgraceful child. My son, stop attending to correction, for it leads to straying from wisdom. An unprincipled witness scoffs at justice, and the wicked speak iniquity. Scoffers are punished, and blows are reserved for the backs of fools. Chapter 20. Wine is arrogant, strong drink is riotous. Those who are intoxicated by them are not wise. The terror of a king is like the roar of a lion. Those who incur his anger forfeit their lives. A person gains honor by avoiding strife, but every fool starts a quarrel. Sluggards do not plow in seed time, and when they look for the harvest, it is not there. The intention of the human heart is deep water, but the intelligent draw it forth. Many say, "My loyal friend," but who can find someone worthy of trust? The just walk in integrity, and their children are happy. A king seated on the throne of judgment dispels all evil with his glance. Who can say, "I have made my heart clean, I am cleansed of my sin"? Varying weights and measures are an abomination to the Lord. Even children can act in their own actions, though their deeds are blameless and right. The ear that hears and the eye that sees, both are made by the Lord. Do not love sleep lest you become poor. Keep your eyes open and be satisfied with food. "Bad, bad," says the buyer, then goes away to boast. One can wear gold and jewels, but wise lips are the most precious ornament. Take the garment of one who became surety for a stranger. If for foreigners, exact the pledge. Bread earned by deceit is sweet, but afterward the mouth is filled with gravel. Plans made with advice succeed. With wise direction, wage your war. A slanderer reveals secrets, so have nothing to do with a babbler. Those who curse their father or mother will see their lamp go out in the dead of night. Possessions greedily guarded at the outset will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, "I will repay evil." Wait for the Lord, who will help you. Varying weights are an abomination to the Lord, and false scales are not good. Our steps are from the Lord. How then can mortals understand their way? It is a trap to pledge rashly a sacred gift and reflect after making a vow. A wise king winnows the wicked and threshes them under the cartwheel. A lamp from the Lord is the breath of human life, searching the inmost being. Steadfast loyalty safeguards the king, and he upholds his throne by justice. The glory of the young is their strength, and the dignity of the old is their gray hair. Evil is cleansed away by bloody lashes, and scourging reaches the inmost being. Chapter 21. A king's heart is like channeled water in the hand of the Lord. He directs it where he pleases. All your ways may seem right to you, but it is the Lord who weighs hearts. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked will fail. The plans of the diligent end in profit, but those of the hasty end in loss. Trying to get rich by lying is like chasing a bubble over deadly snares. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away because they refuse to do what is right. One's path may be winding and unfamiliar, but one's conduct is blameless and right. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than in a mansion with a quarrelsome woman. The soul of the wicked desires evil. Their neighbor finds no pity in their eyes. When scoffers are punished, the naive becomes wise. When the wise succeed, they gain knowledge. The righteous one appraises the house of the wicked, bringing the wicked to ruin. Those who shut their ears to the cry of the poor will themselves call out and not be answered. A secret gift allays anger, and a present concealed violent wrath. When justice is done, it is a joy for the just, but a downfall for evildoers. Whoever strays from the way of good sense will abide in the assembly of the shades. The lover of pleasure will suffer want. The lover of wine and perfume will never be rich. The wicked serve as ransom for the just, and the faithless for the upright. It is better to dwell in a wilderness than with a quarrelsome wife in trouble. Precious treasure and oil are in the house of the wise, but the fool consumes them. Whoever pursues justice and kindness will find life and honor. The wise person storms the city of the mighty and overthrows the stronghold in which they trust. Those who guard mouth and tongue guard themselves from trouble. Proud, boastful, scoffer is the name of those who act with overbearing pride. The desire of sluggards will slay them, for their hands refuse to work. Some are consumed with avarice all day, but the just give unsparingly. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination, especially when they offer it with bad intent. The false witness will perish, but one who listens will give lasting testimony. The face of the wicked hardens, but the upright maintains a straight course. No wisdom, understanding, or counsel prevails against the Lord. The horse is equipped for the day of battle, but victory is the Lord's. Chapter 22. A good name is more desirable than great riches, and high esteem is better than gold and silver. Rich and poor have a common bond. The Lord is the maker of them all. The astute see evil and hide, while the naive continue on and pay the penalty. The result of humility and fear of the Lord is riches, honor, and life. Thorns and snares are on the path of the crooked. Those who safeguard their lives will avoid them. Train the young in the way they should go. Even when old, they will not stray from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Those who sow iniquity reap calamity, and the rod used in anger will fail. The generous will be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. Expel the arrogant, and discord goes too. Strife and insults cease. The Lord loves the pure of heart. The person of winning speech has a king for a friend. The eyes of the Lord watch over the knowledgeable, but he defeats the projects of the faithless. The sluggard says, "A lion is outside, I might be slain in the street." The mouth of the foreign woman is a deep pit. Whoever incurs the Lord's anger will fall into it. Folly is bound to the heart of a youth, but the rod of discipline will drive it out. Oppressing the poor for enrichment and giving to the rich, both are sheer loss. Sayings of the wise. Incline your ear and hear my words. Let your mind attend to my teaching, for it will be well if you hold them within you, if they are ready on your lips. That your trust may be in the Lord, I make them known to you today. Have I not written for you 30 sayings containing counsels and knowledge? To teach you how to give a dependable report to someone who sends it to you. Do not rob the poor because they are poor, nor crush the needy at the gate, for the Lord will defend their cause and plunder those who plunder them. Do not be friendly with hotheads nor associate with the wrathful, lest you learn their ways and become ensnared. Do not give your hand in pledge or become surety for debts, for if you cannot pay, your bed will be taken from under you. Do not remove the ancient landmark that your ancestors set up. Do you see those skilled at their work? They will stand in the presence of kings, but not in the presence of the obscure. Chapter 23. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, mark well the one who is before you. If you have a ravenous appetite, stick the knife in your gullet. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is food that deceives. Do not wear yourself out to gain wealth, cease to worry about it. When your glance flits to it, it is gone. For assuredly, it grows wings like an eagle that flies toward heaven. Do not take food with unwilling hosts and do not desire their delicacies, for like something stuck in the throat is that food. Eat and drink, they say to you, but their hearts are not with you. The little you have eaten you will vomit up, and you will have wasted your agreeable words. Do not speak in the hearing of fools, for they will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not remove the ancient landmark, nor invade the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is strong, and he will defend their cause against you. Apply your heart to instruction and your ear to words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from youths. If you beat them with the rod, they will not die. Beat them with the rod, and you will save them from Sheol. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart also will rejoice, and my inmost being will exult when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but only those who always fear the Lord, for you will surely have a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the right way. Do not join with wine-bibbers, nor with those who glut themselves on meat. For drunkards and gluttons come to poverty, and laziness clothes one in rags. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and do not sell, wisdom, instruction, and understanding. The father of a just person will exult greatly. Whoever begets a wise son will rejoice in him. Let your father and mother rejoice, let her who bore you exult. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes keep to my ways. For the harlot is a deep pit, and the foreign woman is a narrow well. She lies in wait like a robber and increases the number of the faithless. Who screams, who shouts, who has strife, who has anxiety, who has wounds for nothing, who has bleary eyes? Whoever lingers long over wine, whoever goes around quaffing wine, do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup. It goes down smoothly, but in the end, it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes will behold strange sights, and your heart will utter incoherent things. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, sprawled at the top of the mast. They struck me, but it did not pain me. They beat me, but I did not feel it. When can I get up? When can I go out and get more? Chapter 24. Do not envy the wicked nor desire to be with them, for their hearts plot violence, and their lips speak of foul play. By wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established, and by knowledge its rooms are filled with every precious and pleasing possession. The wise are more powerful than the strong, and the learned than the mighty. For by strategy war is waged, and victory depends on many counselors. Wise words are beyond fools' reach. In the assembly they do not open their mouths. As they calculate how to do evil, people brand them troublemakers. The scheme of a fool gains no acceptance. The scoffer is an abomination to the community. Did you fail in a day of adversity? Did your strength fall short? Did you fail to rescue those who were being dragged off to death, those tottering, those near death? Because you said, "We didn't know about it"? Surely the searcher of hearts knows and will repay all according to their deeds. If you eat honey, my son, because it is good, if pure honey is sweet to your taste, such is wisdom to your soul. If you find it, you will have a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in wait at the abode of the just. Do not ravage their dwelling places. Though the just fell 7 times, they rose again, but the wicked stumble was caused by only one mishap. Do not rejoice when your enemies fall, and when they stumble, do not let your heart exult, lest the Lord see it, be displeased with you, and withdraw his wrath from your enemies. Do not be provoked by evildoers, do not envy the wicked, for the evil have no future. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king, have nothing to do with those who hate them. For disasters will be issued suddenly, and calamities will arise from them both. Who knows when? These also are words of the wise. To show partiality in judgment is not good. Whoever says to the guilty party, "You are innocent," will be cursed by nations and scorned by people. But those who render just verdicts will fare well, and on them will come the blessing of prosperity. An honest reply is like a kiss on the lips. Complete your outdoor tasks and arrange your work in the field. Afterward, you can build your house. Do not testify falsely against your neighbor and so deceive with your lips. Do not say, "As they did to me, so will I do to them. I will repay them according to their deeds." I passed by the field of a sluggard, by the vineyard of one with no sense. It was all overgrown with thistles, its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. As I gazed at it, I reflected. I saw and learned a lesson. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest, then poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like a brigand. Chapter 25, and these are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the servants of Hezekiah, king of Judah, transmitted. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to fathom a matter. Like the heavens in height and the earth in depth, the heart of kings is unfathomable. Remove the dross from silver, and it comes forth perfectly purified. Remove the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne is made firm through justice. Claim no honor in the king's presence, nor occupy the place of superiors, for it is better to be told, "Come up closer," than to be humbled before the prince. What your eyes have seen do not bring forth too quickly against an opponent, for what will you do later on when your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your own case with your neighbor, but the secrets of others do not disclose, lest hearing it, they reproach you, and your ill repute never ceases. Golden apples and silver settings are words spoken at the proper time. A golden earring or a necklace of fine gold, one who gives wise reproof to a listening ear. Like the coolness of snow in the heat of the harvest are faithful messengers for those who send them, lifting the spirits of their masters. Clouds and wind, but no rain. The one who boasts of a gift not given. By patience is a ruler persuaded, and a soft tongue can break a bone. If you find honey, eat only what you need, lest you have your fill and vomit it up. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest they have their fill of you, and hate you. A club, sword, or sharp arrow, the one who bears false witness against a neighbor. A bad tooth or an unsteady foot, a trust betrayed in time of trouble. Like the removal of clothes on a cold day or vinegar on soda, is the one who sings to a troubled heart. If your enemies are hungry, give them food to eat. If thirsty, give something to drink. For live coals you will heap on their heads, and the Lord will vindicate you. The north wind brings rain, and a backbiting tongue angry looks. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than in a mansion with a quarrelsome wife. Cool water to one faint from thirst is good news from a far country. A trampled fountain or a polluted spring, a just person fallen before the wicked. To eat too much honey is not good, nor to seek honor after honor. A city breached and left defenseless are those who do not control their temper. Chapter 26. Like snow in summer, like rain in harvest, honor for a fool is out of place. Like the sparrow in its flitting, like the swallow in its flight, a curse uncalled for never lands. The whip for the horse, the bridle for the ass, and the rod for the back of fools. Do not answer fools according to their folly, lest you too become like them. Answer fools according to their folly, lest they become wise in their own eyes. Those who send messages by a fool cut off their feet. They drink down violence. A proverb in the mouth of a fool hangs limp like crippled legs. Giving honor to a fool is like entangling a stone in the sling. A thorn stuck in the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. An archer wounding all who pass by is anyone who hires a drunken fool. As dogs return to their vomit, so fools repeat their folly. You see, those who are wise in their own eyes, there is more hope for fools than for them. The sluggard says, "There is a lion in the street, a lion in the middle of the square." The door turns on its hinges and sluggards on their beds. The sluggard buries a hand in the dish, too weary to lift it to the mouth. In their own eyes sluggards are wiser than 7 who answer with good judgment. Whoever meddles in the quarrel of another is one who grabs a passing dog by the ears. Like a crazed archer scattering firebrands and deadly arrows, such are those who deceive their neighbor, and then say, "I was only joking." Without wood, the fire dies out. Without a talebearer, strife subsides. Charcoal for coals, wood for fire. Such are the quarrelsome, enkindling strife. The words of a talebearer are like dainty morsels. They sink into one's inmost being. Like a glazed finish on earthenware are smooth lips and a wicked heart. With their lips enemies pretend, but inwardly they maintain deceit. When they speak graciously, do not trust them, for 7 abominations are in their hearts. Hatred can be concealed by pretense, but malice will be revealed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit falls into it, and a stone comes back upon the one who rolls it. The lying tongue is its owner's enemy, and the flattering mouth works ruin. Chapter 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what any day may bring forth. Let another praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger, not your own lips. Stone is heavy and sand a burden, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Anger is cruel and wrath overwhelming, but before jealousy who can stand? Better is an open rebuke than a love that remains hidden. Trustworthy are the blows of a friend, dangerous the kisses of an enemy. One who is full spurns honey, but to the hungry, any bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird far from the nest, so is anyone far from home. Perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, but by grief the soul is torn asunder. Do not give up your own friend and your father's friend. Do not resort to the house of your kindred when trouble strikes. Better a neighbor near than kin far away. Be wise, my son, and bring joy to my heart so that I can answer whoever taunts me. The astute see an evil and hide. The naive continue on and pay the penalty. Take the garment of the one who became surety for a stranger. If, for a foreign woman, exact the pledge. At those who greet their neighbor with a loud voice in the early morning, a curse can be laid to their charge. For a persistent leak on a rainy day, the match is a quarrelsome wife. Whoever would hide her hides a storm wind and cannot tell north from south. Iron is sharpened by iron, one person sharpens another. Those who tend a fig tree eat its fruit, so those attentive to their master will be honored. As face mirrors face in water, so the heart reflects the person. Sheol and Abaddon can never be satisfied, so the eyes of mortals can never be satisfied. The crucible for silver, the furnace for gold, so you must assay the praise you receive. Though you pound fools with a pestle, their folly never leaves them. Take good care of your flocks, give careful attention to your herds. For wealth does not last forever, nor even a crown from age to age. When the grass comes up and the new growth appears and the mountain greens are gathered in, the lambs will provide you with clothing and the goats, the price of a field. And there will be ample goat's milk for your food, food for your house, sustenance for your maidens. Chapter 28. The wicked flee though none pursue, but the just like a lion are confident. If a land is rebellious, its princes will be many. But with an intelligent and wise ruler there is stability. One who is poor and extorts from the lowly is a devastating rain that leaves no food. Those who abandon instruction praise the wicked, but those who keep instruction oppose them. The evil understands nothing of justice, but those who seek the Lord understand everything. It is better to be poor and walk with integrity than rich and crooked in one's ways. Whoever heeds instruction is a wise son, but whoever joins with wastrels disgraces his father. Whoever amasses wealth by interest and overcharge gathers it for the one who is kind to the poor. Those who turn their ears from hearing instruction, even their prayer is an abomination. Those who mislead the upright into an evil way will themselves fall into their own pit, but the blameless will attain prosperity. The rich are wise in their own eyes, but the poor who are intelligent see through them. When the just triumph, there is great glory. But when the wicked prevail, people hide. Those who conceal their sins do not prosper, but those who confess and forsake them obtain mercy. Happy are those who always fear, but those who harden their hearts fall into evil. A roaring lion or a ravenous bear is a wicked ruler over poor people. The less prudent the rulers, the more oppressive their deeds. Those who hate ill-gotten gain prolong their days. Though a person burdened with blood guilt is in flight even to the grave, Let no one offer support. Whoever walks blamelessly is safe, but one whose ways are crooked falls into a pit. Those who cultivate their land will have plenty of food, but those who engage in idle pursuits will have plenty of want. The trustworthy will be richly blessed, but whoever hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is never good, for even a morsel of bread one may do wrong. Misers hurry toward wealth, not knowing that want is coming toward them. Whoever rebukes another wins more favor than one who flatters with the tongue. Whoever defrauds father or mother and says, "It is no sin," is a partner to a brigand. The greedy person stirs up strife, but the one who trusts in the Lord will prosper. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are safe. Those who give to the poor have no lack, but those who avert their eyes have many curses. When the wicked prevail, people hide, but at their fall, the just abound. Chapter 20, 9. Those stiff-necked in the face of reproof in an instant will be shattered beyond cure. When the just flourish, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan. Whoever loves wisdom gives joy to his father, but whoever consorts with harlots squanders his wealth. By justice, a king builds up the land, but one who raises taxes tears it down. Those who speak flattery to their neighbor cast a net at their feet. The sin of the wicked is a trap, but the just run along joyfully. The just care for the cause of the poor. The wicked do not understand such care. Scoffers inflame the city, but the wise calm the fury. If a wise person disputes with a fool, there is railing and ridicule, but no resolution. The bloodthirsty hate the blameless, but the upright seek his life. Fools vent all their anger, but the wise, biding their time, control it. If rulers listen to lying words, their servants all become wicked. The poor and the oppressor meet. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. If a king is honestly for the rights of the poor, his throne stands firm forever. The rod of correction gives wisdom, but uncontrolled youths disgrace their mothers. When the wicked increase, crime increases, but the just will behold their downfall. Discipline your children, and they will bring you comfort and give delight to your soul. Without a vision, people lose restraint, but the happy are the ones who follow instructions. Not by words alone can servants be trained, for they understand but do not respond. Do you see someone hasty in speech? There is more hope for a fool. If servants are pampered from childhood, they will turn out to be stubborn. The ill-tempered stirs up strife, and the hot-headed cause many sins. Haughtiness brings humiliation, but the humble of spirit acquire honor. Partners of a thief hate themselves. They hear the imprecation but do not testify. Fear of others becomes a snare, but the one who trusts in the Lord is safe. Many curry favor with a ruler, but it is from the Lord that one receives justice. An abomination to the just is the evildoer. An abomination to the wicked is one whose way is straight. Chapter 30. The words of Agur, son of Jakeh the Massite, the pronouncement of mortal man. I am weary, O God. I am weary, O God, and I am exhausted. I am more brute than a human being without even human intelligence. Neither have I learned wisdom, nor have I the knowledge of the Holy One. Who has gone up to heaven and come down again? Who has cupped the wind in the hollow of the hand? Who has bound up the waters in a cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is that person's name, or the name of his son? Every word of God is tested. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Add nothing to his words, lest he reprimand you and you be proved a liar. 2 things I ask of you, do not deny them to me before I die. Put falsehood and lying far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Provide me only with the food I need. Lest being full I deny you, saying, Who is the Lord? Or being in want, I steal and profane the name of my God. Do not criticize servants to their master, lest they curse you, and you have to pay the penalty. There are some who curse their fathers and do not bless their mothers. There are some pure in their own eyes, yet not cleansed of their filth. They are somehow haughty in their eyes. How overbearing their glance. There are some, their teeth are swords, their teeth are knives, devouring the needy from the earth, and the poor from the human race. The leech has 2 daughters. Give and give. 3 things never get their fill. 4 never say, Enough. Sheol, a barren womb, a land that never gets its fill of water and fire, which never says, enough. The eye that mocks a father or scorns the homage due a mother will be plucked out by brook ravens and devoured by a brood of vultures. 3 things are too wonderful for me, yes, 4 I cannot understand. The way of an eagle in the sky, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship on the high seas, and the way of a man with a woman. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats, wipes her mouth, and says, I have done no wrong. Under 3 things the earth trembles, yes, under 4 it cannot bear up. Under a slave who becomes king and a fool who is glutted with food. Under an unloved woman who is wed, and a maidservant who displaces her mistress. 4 things are among the smallest on the earth and yet are exceedingly wise. Ants, a species not strong, yet they store up their food in the summer. Badgers, a species not mighty, yet they make their home in the crags. Locusts, they have no king, yet they march forth in formation. Lizards, you can catch them with your hands, yet they find their way into kings' palaces. 3 things are stately in their stride, yes, 4 are stately in their carriage. The lion, mightiest of beasts, retreats before nothing. The strutting cock and the he-goat and the king at the head of his people. If you have foolishly been proud or presumptuous, put your hand on your mouth, for as the churning of milk produces curds and the pressing of the nose produces blood, the churning of anger produces strife. Chapter 31. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa, the instruction his mother taught him. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my vows? Do not give your vigor to women or your strength to those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel, not for kings to drink wine. A strong drink is not for princes, lest in drinking they forget what has been decreed, and violate the rights of any who are in need. Give strong drink to anyone who is perishing, and wine to the embittered. When they drink, they will forget their misery and think no more of their troubles. Open your mouth on behalf of the mute and for the rights of the destitute. Open your mouth, judge justly, and defend the needy and the poor. Poem on the Woman of Worth. Who can find a woman of worth? Far beyond jewels is her value. One her husband trusts her judgment. He does not lack income. She brings him profit, not loss, all the days of her life. She seeks out wool and flax and weaves with skillful hands. Like a merchant fleet, she secures her provisions from afar. She rises while it is still night and distributes food to her household, a portion to her maidservants. She picks out a field and acquires it. From her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength. She exerts her arms with vigor. She enjoys the profit from her dealings. Her lamp is never extinguished at night. She puts her hands to the distaff and her fingers ply the spindle. She reaches out her hands to the poor and extends her arms to the needy. She is not concerned for her household when it snows. All her charges are doubly clothed. She makes her own coverlets. She wears fine linen and purple clothing. Her husband is prominent at the city gates as he sits with the elders of the land. She makes garments and sells them and stocks the merchants with belts. She is clothed with strength and dignity and laughs at the days to come. She opens her mouth in wisdom. Kindly instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband, too, praises her. Many are the women of proven worth, but you have excelled them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty fleeting. The woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Acclaim her for the work of her hands, and let her deeds praise her at the city gates.